Yeah, it's been crazy. I swear, every single day. Like you look up one thing on Google, and then it swears that's all you care about. So it's just going to tell you every time it happens. And it now tells me every time there's a recall, and I swear every other day there's a recall going on for some type of food or for, I think it was it Ford or something like that. They had to recall like 100,000 cars, and they got to replace all the engines in them. Like what? And then on Monday we had like our own little Black Friday, and you wouldn't even know it. There was 3 trillion
Why you
taken
say
out.
that? I didn't know that. It sound like they're getting ready to do something. I don't know.
Right? It's like, how does it feel
Hmm.
like that was a big deal, but then like everything's just carrying on? 3 trillion, like that. The last time they did something like that, 9/11 happened very shortly after.
Right. The next day.
Hmm. Yeah, there's about 3 trillion unaccounted for. We're not really sure what happened to it. Boom! Oh, the records department. Ah, shit. How convenient. Some crazy shit. You know.
They did have to take take your mind off of it.
Yeah, you got to. You can't really stick on it too much like
I don't
that.
know. Maybe
But
this shit about to hit the fan.
you know what? My whole thing is, it's probably going to hit a fan. But the whole thing you got to make sure is that if there's a storm going on, you are in the eye of that storm. And hey, all praise the Lord and the Most High. You gotta stay safe, keep that faith. But let's get the show started for today.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
to
yeah.
who was that?
What you said?
Let's get the show started for today. Thanks for coming in, whoever's here, and let's have a nice evening.
Let's get it rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to
BreakRoom, yo.
Your favorite rapper's favorite podcast.
See, this is why I like your show. You're very charismatic. You know the right things to say.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Oh, give me 1 second there. Uh, Hello, I'm Dangy Mouse, the founder of Dangy, and this is Andre, No ID Politics, Macho, of course, the Prophet. We're gonna be here, hopefully joined by Mick, should he wake up. He's supposed to be up already, but you know it is what it is. He be a sleeping man. Um, just kind of hanging out today, as we did a couple of weeks ago. It's nice to be back and hanging out. How you guys doing?
Good, chilling.
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Still got my manhood. Man.
That's something. That's you know what? That's something to be proud of nowadays because there is some peer pressure to get rid of what you may feel is manhood for what is agreed upon to be manhood, and we might get back to that a little bit later on today. But glad y'all doing all right. Um, let's kick off the show with some present history topics that may or may not have happened. All right, so there's a few things that kind of happened this past week. I don't have clips and info for lots of them, but one of the biggest things around the world that has happened is the Olympics. You guys catching any of that?
Yeah, I got some. I watched some of the basketball. Like I said, I was watching the volleyball, and I was watching some of the track and field too.
Okay. Do you
Yeah,
always watch?
just a little bit.
I usually watch
Yo,
the. I usually watch it. There's just
okay.
so much this year. It's a lot.
It does seem like there's way more sports now. Like I remember reading, like
They added some events.
they did, and I feel like it was just way more than I realized. I think surfing's in there now,
Hmm.
breakdancing's in
And
there
it's hard.
now.
It's hard to keep up with it too because they have a different time, and then everything's in the morning. So it's just like yesterday, I wanted to see the game. I thought the game was gonna be like at 7 o'clock, and they had the game like at 1 o'clock. I didn't even fucking know. I had
Mm.
to watch the rerun.
Uh, that always sucks because then you have to avoid like what was the actual result of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did y'all catch? I'm guessing you guys didn't catch it from the beginning then.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Well, the opening
No.
ceremony. Did y'all see the opening ceremony at all?
No, I heard about it.
You did.
Well,
It's weird.
Let's take a quick look and see what we got going.
oh, that shit crazy. This is definitely demonic.
What do you mean?
This is getting flagged.
That
Jay said it's
might
okay.
get flagged.
Nah,
Jay said it's okay.
NBC's gonna flag this, or CBS, whoever.
There's a lot of places that got coverage of this day. We don't know whose footage that is. You have no idea. We got a little bit more though, because there's of course always more going on.
What is this? A fucking Smurf? Man?
Let's pop a Smurf.
That's who it's supposed to be, right? Oh, they ain't bugging the fuck out, bro. Even in Paris, they letting this shit happen.
This is Paris, apparently.
He said even
That's
in
what I'm
Paris,
saying. Yeah,
especially
even in
Paris.
Paris, like this is crazy.
Like an interesting angle for an opening ceremony.
There's so many high school kids that actually watch
Why are people slamming the Paris 20?
this
No, we're not gonna do that.
shit. Watch the lip.
Yeah, very crazy kind of opening going on there. I wanted to actually just kind of play it so we could see it, but of course somebody is getting those rights down, so you can
That's
literally
weird
take
as
a bunch of people are
fuck.
doing it. Pretty wild. Uh, I remember the Chinese Olympics. They had a whole bunch of different things where like we have lots and lots of people here, and we know how to coordinate on a large level. We're gonna show that off, and they did in many different ways. It was pretty cool. It was very. It made it. It felt like the culture of China being presented in different ways, or showing off talents and things that they knew. And I just feel like, from what I've been able to see from this opening ceremony, I heavy metal and drag queens. Is that what France is saying they're all about now?
Yeah, that's kind of
Because I
weird.
mean, hey, if you want to update from the berets, the Eiffel Tower baguettes, and being stinky out there, that's fine. But weird flex.
I don't know that shit was.
You don't like it?
Uh, horrible opening.
Not a fan.
Horrible.
Man, guys, I
That
don't know
should
if you
never
can
be
say,
open.
I don't know if you can say that, guys.
I don't know if it's me, but like you breaking up.
I'm getting a little bit of choppiness, but coming on from you, but I don't know if it's me, but it could just be the connection. Not sure.
Okay.
But I do want to say, while we're on the topic of the Olympics, shout out to all the Olympic teams that have been holding it down and representing the country, I guess. Although I do find it very curious that people like Flavor Flav are the ones that are why the U.S. women's polo team are even there. It's very curious how that works. Go
For me,
go
why
represent.
is he still? How is he still around?
Gotta be them clocks, bro. It's gotta be something with the clocks.
Because he's been around since the '80s, fucking being a hooligan. You need that. You need to
He
hang
looks
hang
exactly
them
like he
gloves
does
up.
now.
God,
It's crazy.
like a fucking cockroach.
A croach. Look like a
Look at
croach.
Croach. Yeah, he's
Uh,
extra crispy.
yeah, but he let the team go out there, and it's crazy to me that it's like, yeah, the Olympics are going on. The world's been doing this for quite a while. It's kind of like representing your set. You can go, but we're not gonna fund you. And if you win, we're gonna tax that shit. Like what?
Yeah, for
What?
real.
You're gonna tax the medal of the Olympians? Like, oh, I was the best in the world. Great, pay taxes on it. Like what?
I don't know,
Insanity!
bro. Yeah.
Insanity.
It is.
So moving on into other news. Recalls galore. Biggest recall recently, Boar's Head. Absolutely insane situation going on
Yeah, I
there.
saw that.
Did you see? Did you see that they hit their market high the week before they called the recall?
I did not.
Yeah, it's awfully
I
convenient,
didn't know
isn't
that.
it?
Yes, it
Get
is.
your money and then pull out.
It's a lot of interesting shit.
Has expanded its recall to include
Huh?
over 71 different deli
I'm
meat products
sweating. I wait till I cool down a
concerns
little
about a
bit.
listeria outbreak. Initially, on July 26th, the recall was limited to 9 products, but it has now grown to encompass over 7 million pounds of meat and poultry items produced between May 10th and July 29th, 2024.
Hmm.
These products include popular items such as Virginia ham, olive loaf, skinless beef drinks, Canadian-style bacon, roasted pork, and liverwurst pate.
Thank
According to
God, I don't eat none
reports,
of that
at least
shit.
34 people in 13 states have fallen ill, with 2 fatalities reported. The USDA and CDC have urged consumers to either throw out or return the affected products and to thoroughly clean their refrigerators to prevent contamination. Listeria can
It
spread
sounds
easily
like
and can survive in refrigerated conditions, but can be eliminated by reheating the food to a high enough temperature. Boar's Head
So are you
it sounds
saying
like
that?
some pre-COVID shit. That's what it look like. Like they're trying to fear
Hmm.
monger again. Start the fear mongering.
Mm,
No,
Yeah,
you said Dre?
7 million. They said 7 million pounds. Like, how did they let that slide? That's way too much.
right,
Like
How they
they
what?
did
seven.
that
How
on
they even know
purpose,
that number? How they even know that number?
right?
So that's what I'm saying. So it has to be deliberate. You know, say like you have that perfect number like that. Like how the fuck you know?
Right, exactly. It makes me think of the Boeing CEO. Did you send me that video, Dre?
What about the
Um,
Boeing
Boeing?
CEO?
there was he was recently he got grilled recently because they've been having shit going on with the deaths.
The
If I don't know if you remember
whistleblowers?
the whistleblowers and that, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And he's on trial.
What is it that you get paid currently?
Senator, that's well disclosed in our proxy documents in each of the years that I've been.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's a big number, sir.
Well, let me help you out. It's 32.8 million this year. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
It's a 45% increase over last year. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
What is it you get paid to do exactly?
I get paid to run the going.
Yeah. So just help me understand that. I mean, do you get paid for transparency? Is that one of the metrics for your income?
I think the board counts on me for transparency.
Really? Because you're under investigation for falsifying 787 inspection records, going under criminal investigation for the airlines. You were investigated by DOJ for criminal conspiracy to defraud the FAA. This is all in your tenure. This doesn't sound like a lot of transparency to me.
Like,
Yeah.
why is go ahead.
No. I was talking to my daughter. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, like there's a terrible habit in this country where there will be shit going on. It may even become known, and then it's like, oh, I'll just look into that. And then as you're doing so, things like that come. It's like, what? Why would any CEO need $32.8 million a year and that type of a raise? What did y'all do? What do you make?
Stealing money.
Like the head of Boar's head, like they're gonna get fired? Probably not. And even if they did get let go, they'd probably get picked up by somebody else in another part of business or move it to go.
They'll just make another whole.
Yeah, 33 million a year is crazy.
Change the label, but it's the same shit.
So to not even do your job, to just be a fraud.
Right, like that's insane. And we all know that like there's people that get paid way more than that, and they have bigger investments and shit. But that's just unacceptable. Fire for that. Fire for that. It's disappointing. I'm disappointed in America.
Definitely.
Comes from Bernie Mac. Straight to you. Disappointed.
You ever take that?
What? You got a what?
Yeah, he said, what'd you say?
All right there. Anyway,
Hey, Jay, is he breaking up on your side too, or it's just me?
Nah, I hear him fine.
Yeah, I don't think
that's me. Yeah, that'd be me.
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
It's definitely me.
That's lame. That's booty hole, bro.
Hey, I can hear you now. It was breaking up when he was talking earlier.
Yeah, nah, just some more bullshit. I'm disappointed in America. We need Bernie Mac to be regularly coming on screen every week talking about, come on, America. Why are you fucking up? Come on now. Man, they killed all of America's uncles and dads. Now we're just running rampant. 2 moms and shit. Don't know what the fuck's going on.
We need some new people. You guys is voting?
For what?
What?
Is it for the presidency? Y'all gonna vote this year?
You know what?
No, thank you.
To that point, I just want to put it out there, even on to the YouTube. I have almost every time I've gone on to YouTube for like the past month, had a Kamala Mala Bing Bang Harris ad pop up asking me for fucking money every single time I go on there. And it's so aggressive that I have blocked it because I don't want to see it. I'm not supporting your shit. And just for the record, I just don't want political ads. I don't want to see it. So I'm just going to block it unless you're not being aggressive. Then I'll just skip it when the skip comes up. But like, I don't want to hear you first asking for $5 a day until election day and then talking about $10 a day. Do you know how many people are in this country? Why would you need upwards
Yeah.
of hundreds of millions to a half a billion or more to become president? What are you fighting? Superman? The fuck do you need that much money for?
Yeah, she's full of shit. That's just
It
for a
doesn't make
pocket. This shit. She ain't gonna
and
win. And if she does win, I'm gonna say right now, this country's really going to the shit.
well, I mean, this is not a specific attack on her. It's attack on YouTube in a certain regard because they keep unblocking
I
the
know.
ads. They keep unblocking them. I block them, and then every time same ad. Gotta block it. Gotta block it. Gotta block it. Why are you doing that,
That's
YouTube?
trash.
How come I don't see no Trump ads? Oh, I know why. Because I would block those too, but I don't have them to block, and that's curious. I should have to block both sides of the fence. You never
Yeah,
do.
that's kind of a
It's
lot.
only one
That's
side.
that's somewhat some sort of that's somewhat a superpower if you think about it. But you have the ability to just get that ad to everybody and niggas block it and you still don't block it.
It's crazy. Did you hear much? Did you hear some of the stuff that Judge Joe Brown said about her?
Yeah, I heard some of the shit he was saying about her. he
Some
said
wild
some real
stuff.
good shit. He
He
was saying
did.
a lot of shit.
He definitely
That's Joe
did.
Brown is mad.
Let's play a
Huh?
little bit. Why not?
Here. You didn't even consult with us. You did this on a surprise basis. That's $15 million gone. What happened? It's the kind of thing she would do, see. So it's like that was not a good professional performance. And then she was everybody's favorite Hindu Indian prosecutor and attorney general and senator, and now she becomes black. But I met her dad, a fine gentleman, Professor Harris. And the problem with her being black is Professor Harris says he's Caucasian, mixed Irish and Hindu. He doesn't have any black ancestors, but his Irish ancestors owned a lot of slaves in Jamaica and had them to work on plantation. So if mama is on the birth certificate listed as a Caucasian, daddy says he's a Caucasian Hindu and has no black ancestors, how did she get to be black? Now, a little side story. When I had my show, let's say this has been 26 years ago, I had two beautiful women that I thought were sisters on the show. And they laughed one time when we all went to a happy hour and said, "You think we're black, don't you?" "Yeah, aren't you?" "No, we're Hindu." One of them said, "My mother's a Hindu Brahmin caste. My father was Hindu warrior caste. He took an oath to the family to protect her. They fell in love, eloped, and now we got a death warrant on us. We can't go back to India." So, yeah. And then they gave me two books. The guys were Hindu and they were very dark, but they cut their hair off close, grew beards, and started dressing and acting black. And they got financial aid. One of them, I think, went through medical school that way, masquerading for being black. Somebody else did it. So she went to Howard. And by the way, she told one big lie when she was talking about she got bust because of something Biden did when she was running against him. Well, the yearbook that she put out there that you can still get online from her high school in Canada shows she went from kindergarten through 12th grade in Canada, never went to school in the United States of America.
We'll just stop it right there.
Oh shit. So she
He-
full
I
of
don't-
lies, the hoe.
I'm not gonna say like I've gone and corroborated all this stuff, but Judge Joe Brown, he's not rattling off here like he's been pre.
Yeah, he
You know,
close to
like,
death. Why
this
he
is
got no
like,
reason to
look,
lie?
Yeah, it's like this is some nonsense. I'm just calling and tell you like it is because I'm old enough. He's in the
He
law.
already
And he's,
paid. He got a pension. Yeah, he ain't got no reason to really lie for what. He ain't running for
Right.
presidency, so it don't really matter.
it's
It gotta be true, or some sense of it gotta be true.
right. Like
I don't know. I don't trust it though. Like he's a little off. He's a little off because there are it depends on what Caucasian. If it's a Spaniard, Spaniards have like 28% African, was it South African blood in them, so they're considered black too, like
That's where
actual
hip hop came
Spaniards.
from, right?
Yeah, but like if he's talking about like straight Caucasian, like where it's like Germany or up north up there in the Caucasus Mountains, then he's on
He's
point.
saying Irish. So that'd
Irish
be
too.
another
But
way.
Irish was
What people got to do that fucking assholes? Stupid fucking car. Cockles. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because imagine like if you remember Rachel Dolezal?
who's that? What she ran for?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I knew Dre must remember. Like Rachel Dolezal was a woman that, for a very long time, went around like just saying that she was a black woman, a light-skinned black woman, and she did it for so long and so convincingly. She got into the NAACP. I forgot to what level, but she got up in there. And then they found out after the fact, and it was just like, "You're not black." It's like, "Well, I identify as black." She said that before anybody would defend her. She said that now. Oh shit, that would be a whole different story. That would have been crazy to watch.
Should have been golden.
Right.
Should have been good.
Exactly. It'd been like, oh no, if she wants to be black, she could be black. Okay. I think of that.
I just can't imagine a woman being president.
Or Kamala.
Just I'm not. I don't want to sound misogynistic. I just don't think. I don't know.
It has nothing to do with that. Like remember back when we were growing up, there would be like platforms and policies that people would be like, I believe this. Now this is why I'm running for president. Now it's you're a person and you're a person too. So vote for me because I recognize your people. Like what the fuck? So we did a basic thing, vote for power over the country. Ridiculous. You gonna vote?
No. I've never voted in my life. Not once. Yeah, I ain't gonna start now. Unless it's somebody. Unless it's like if fucking Jason runs for president, yeah, then maybe it.
Jason?
Hey, I don't know.
Like our Jason?
I just need like it has to be someone I know that I could say, you know what, I believe. Yeah, you know, something like that. Like it has to be somebody I fucking know. I don't fucking trust these people.
I feel like
so I see a Puerto Rican up there and a real black person, not Obama, a real black person.
I'm not really sure how write-ins work, but we should just write in the blackest person that we can think of and just be like, yeah, you're the president now. They deal with it. Just give it to some random person.
Nice.
Yeah, give it to Wesley Snipes. They won't give him a Blade movie. Give him the presidency.
They're definitely going to give him a Blade movie. They're definitely going to make another Blade movie with him.
It looks like Ryan Reynolds suddenly got a lot of pull at Marvel very quickly. He went from being an outcast, trying to do an R-rated movie fuck with, to now they're like, yeah, no, what do you want to do, Ryan? You gave us another breath of life. Well, who you want to do that? Yeah, sure, we can do that. No, people haven't been saying it for years already.
So you saying that you saw the new Deadpool movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's I thought about it?
So it being technically an MCU movie, I liked it. However, I feel like the story could have been a little tighter in some regards because it definitely kind of drags in some places, and in others it feels pretty well paced. But the reason why I kind of forgive it is that it's very entertaining, and there's a lot of just moments where, like, you're still kind of enjoying it, but you're just kind of like, all right, let's get to the next part, and then not everything necessarily hits. But I love. We all saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw
Yes.
it. Yeah.
All right, so spoilers. I'm gonna give y'all till another 10
I
seconds,
don't
and then
give a
I'm
fuck of what people think. We spoiling the fuck out the movie. Let's do it. You should have watched it.
all right.
about
If
2
you
weeks
haven't
ago.
left by now, I'm talking about the cameos of Blade, Johnny Storm,
Yeah.
Elektra, Gambit, and X-23. Not X-23. What's her name? Wolverine's daughter. Um, is it
Yeah.
X-23? Is that
It's
her name?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah. They were all in the movie, which was, and of course, everybody knows Hugh Jackman's in there. But what they may not realize is there was a bunch of. They did a quick montage, which I really liked, of the different Wolverines just shouting out really popular ones, and every single one of those that they had was referencing a specific comic book Wolverine, which
Mm-hmm.
is cool to see, because all except one of them,
she was
for the
good.
all but one that was made for the movie, um, were all Hugh Jackman, which was pretty cool.
One of the funniest parts is when Gambit started speaking. I started fucking
Bro.
cracking up.
Bro,
Once he started speaking, I started dying, bro. He was like, yo, I don't know what the fuck he said.
Bro, it's the best. It's the best.
Yo, he's so stupid. Yo, he is so stupid, bro. Once
I'm
he
glad you
started
said
talking,
that.
I was like, oh no, bro. That shit was hilarious to me.
It's one of the best accents I've ever heard in a film. It's amazing. Hold up.
I'm about to make.
Show me.
You know how long I've been waiting for this.
Yep, this is getting flagged.
Myself here. I think you guys walk away from this. You just make sure people know what happened here. That
Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself. Yeah. My God, fantastic. All right, so it's fine.
You Diable Blanc, but you can call me the Gambit. It's a good day, yeah. We never had a Wolverine up in here. But I can tell you now, it's just a common courtesy to ask before you drink up all of my liquor. That's good. Don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Like, I to the point of like how I feel about the movie. I know a lot of people didn't really.
He started speaking afterwards. It was funny.
Yeah, I feel like he did a good job as a version of Gambit, to where that version with like an intentionally kind of bad accent, but still looking like the '90s one. And I like the combat. His fighting.
It was fire, bro. Like the only thing I was like, I wanted more time from him. I wanted him to have more time in that movie. Like just like at least 9-10 more minutes would have been good. Would have been a little better. But I think it was the best Deadpool out of the three. I don't know what y'all think.
You think it was the best one?
To me, because I'm a Wolverine and a Hugh Jackman fan. I just like the fight scenes, and I like the excessive cursing from Wolverine. I really enjoy that shit. I really do. Like I just want something for adults. You know what I'm saying? Give us something, because we the ones that really grew up on this shit.
I mean, it's not like Deadpool 1 or 2 were family friendly.
No, they weren't. But it's nice to see it come out of Hugh Jackman.
I mean, I guess because you're right to see the character do that, it is a little more genuine to some of his versions that people have been wanting to see. And for how long he's been Wolverine, it's nice to at least get one with him. But he's probably gonna do it at least again. This movie is.
Yeah, I thought they were hiding. I thought they were hiding his physique at first, and then at the end when they showed it, I was like, "Oh shit, this motherfucker's still ripped. He didn't even wear that stupid shit." But like he said it too. He was just like, "Oh, I'm wearing it because they wanted me to wear it, and then when they died, that's when I decided to wear it, just in their name."
Yeah, it was funny. I liked a lot of the jokes in there, like the fact that Deadpool even was referring to Gambit. Like, what are you even saying?
Yo,
Like,
that's had me dying, bro. That shit had me dying.
if they didn't have that fourth wall break there, I feel like the accent wouldn't be able to be as enjoyable as it is because I feel like it would feel like
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
taking
yeah,
this.
yeah. Yeah, the fourth wall is what really gave it the spunk.
But I really like I felt like there was no reason to really watch this movie except for the fact it was Wolverine and Deadpool, and that was the problem. I had
Did
no
you
investment in
realize?
the story
Did
at
you
all.
realize in the beginning of its advertisement, it was called Deadpool 3, and then we were like 2 months into the advertisement, they started changing. They changed the name to Wolverine of Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't
Damn,
know if
he's
y'all
right.
noticed that.
Nah, you
Yeah,
right.
when they first started advertising, it was like they gave the first trailer. It was called Deadpool 3, and then with a couple months in, it switched over to Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think I remember that there was a different plot that was supposed to be going on for Deadpool 3 with Wolverine on there, but I think they did that. I'm guessing they might did that because I don't know if they knew for sure if Hugh Jackman was coming yet. Because they were like, "We're doing a Deadpool 3,"
No,
and then it was like,
I
"Okay,
think
about what?"
I think he was I think he was in there because they gave a little heads up in Deadpool 2 about that, and then I think because it got so leaked out, they was like, "Fuck it, everybody knows Wolverine is in it, so let's just do it like this." And it's probably going to be hard to give an actual good trailer while Wolverine in it. He's like in almost every shot.
True. True. I mean, they. I made a point once I saw it was coming. I was like, I'm not gonna watch a trailer for this because one of the things that Hollywood has done for many years is just ruin movies by making way too long of a movie trailer. Just way too
Yeah,
long.
it should be a minute and a half. That's it. Not fucking 3 minutes, 3 4 minutes, bro. You giving up most of the good parts. If you're gonna do that, give us a couple narrative parts where you can't see shit, you just hear people talking, and then a couple of okay parts. That's it. Don't give us the best shit. Like, that's horrible.
They stay giving you the juice, and I'm like, I
They
don't want to
stay
see.
doing that shit.
It's annoying. It literally will ruin movies. Like if I didn't like if I just said, "Oh, M Night Shyamalan has a movie coming out called Trap," and look at that, Josh Hartnett's in it. I'm just gonna go see it. I would enjoy it more because I wouldn't already know what's going on. Now, granted, it's no secret that he's the serial killer in the movie. They're very like open about that. It's more or less a cat and mouse thing going on in a trap, really.
There's
However,
another catch though. There's got to be another catch in that movie. Something really good.
uh, if it's what I saw that what it was, it's what you expect. It's disappointing. So don't go for the twist. Go for one. Apparently, Josh Hartnett is. I haven't been able to go yet. I still want to go, but having seen the trailer, like it was going too long. It was like, stop showing me shit because now you're gonna ruin like what's going on. Like,
Yeah,
get a piece.
I'm gonna fucking watch it and I'm gonna fucking predict it. I hate over like if I could predict the movie, I'm gonna get pissed off. And if I watch the trailer and then I go watch the movie and the only good parts of the movie was in the trailer, that gets me even more angry. Like I didn't even have to watch the movie. I could have just watched the trailer over and over again and just be happy with that.
Yep.
You
And
get all
now,
the
like
fucking good parts in the trailer. I hate that.
with all of their like marketing that they do, like for some reason, marketing costs hundreds of millions of dollars, which is just insane. But it costs hundreds of millions of dollars to spoil their own content.
I feel like they yeah. Yeah, you're right. But I feel
Like
like they be upscaling them prices because marketing these days, you can market almost anything for fucking cheap as shit. They just
Facebook
there's
ads works pretty good, and it doesn't cost hundreds of millions of dollars to get your shit out there.
yeah, I really think that they just I don't know, they just juicing the system as
Oh,
well in their own right.
we have to get on major networks, and there's a fee. You owned by the same parent company. Don't bullshit me. The fuck? Where's the hundreds of millions of dollars going? Why doesn't you know what? Real quick, let me just we're kind of transitioning slightly here too. The topic of the night, because we're talking about issues going on with media and things like that, and just to kind of put a little tie on things there before we move on. Dre, what were your thoughts on Deadpool Wolverine?
I liked it. I'm gonna watch it again though.
I want to do that as well. I feel like there's still some good Easter eggs I missed.
Yeah, some it's a lot of cameos in that movie. A lot of little things you got to pay attention to.
Nothing. I'm just saying, this all started out with fucking Wesley Snipes being the president. That's funny.
Yeah, right. which kind of comes back to a little bit about the issues in media. So our general topic is going to be identity politics in media, and are they entertainment media, and are they ruining it, among other things. And some things I've seen people say about the movie, which I kind of want to see it again to see if it's kind of validated, is that after that first watch, and you see all those cameos and stuff like that, those are a lot of big moments in the film that you can really only experience once in a certain degree. Like actually seeing Wesley Snipes come in as Blade, it's like, oh, all right, that's pretty fucking dope. This is cool. And then being like,
he has an age, just lost a little weight.
Yeah, and then you see the canceled Gambit by the actor that was supposed to play him. It's like, this is pretty cool. I like what you're doing there. But just the way that feels, it's not going to persist. Because then after that, when you go back to it, those moments that drug, they're going to drag even harder. And I feel like, not that the protagonist, what was her name, Cassandra, not that she was a bad choice of a antagonist. It just felt pointless. Like, it just seemed like a means to an end antagonist, as opposed to, this is an interesting character. It felt wasted to a degree. And then the TVA is like, okay, so you're literally existing to create a scenario. So like, you're literally just a device of the movie to make it go forward. You don't exist because of something. You're a plot device. And that's kind of how it's treated. And there's just some parts that were just very lame, kind of dumb, but they also had to tie it
just dry. Some of it was dry to me.
Yeah. Not all the jokes landed. The fights were fantastic. Those were really well.
Wolverine was relentless.
Thing was hilarious.
When you fucking kill one person, you just keep stabbing him multiple times. I'm like, bro, that dude's dead. Move on.
The fight I guess fights that he and Wolverine had were quite good as well. But like, that's all stuff that makes you want to just kind of check out the scenes, you know, not necessarily be enduring, which is why I don't know where I'd rank it in all of them. I feel like the first one, in terms of a story, is still the most enjoyable because it's the most coherent and tight. Like, they have a story to tell and they do it pretty well. The second one is entertaining, but I didn't really give a shit about that kid. No offense to the kid, but it was just not that interesting. But it was a little bit more interesting than what was going on here.
A little fucking fat kid that looked like Josh from Drake and Josh. He looked like Josh from Drake and Josh, a little fat fuck.
Yeah, and he's like,
the kid isn't important in the second one. That's because that's important for Deadpool because he has to do something right or try to do something right.
Yeah,
because he caused his girl to die.
Mm-hmm. And he needs to like.
Nah, I understand. I understand that,
but like,
Cable saved the day, really.
Like, I wish Cable did come back. That would have been nice, actually, because a Deadpool and Cable movie could have been done before this one. I feel like they still could do a Deadpool and Cable movie. I would see that. Shout out to.
I mean, you just saw Deadpool 2 is basically a Deadpool and Cable movie.
Yeah, but it's Deadpool and Cable doing a random plot. Just kind of like this movie was Deadpool and Wolverine with a random plot. Like, it didn't feel like it was proper, I guess, story of the two of them. It was just kind of like watch these two characters do this shit, and it's like, all right, this is entertaining. I'll give you that.
Well,
And it,
plot was it was just to save his dying universe. Because at first I was like, what the fuck is this, bro? And then when the dude from the time, whatever the fuck those people were, when he explained it, he was like, oh, you know, your universe is dying or whatever. It's collapsing within itself, whatever. It's because you didn't save it or whatever. He fucked with the time. That's when I was like, oh, okay. That makes a little sense. Put a little sense into it. Because at first I was just like, what is this? This shit is just like
they were using it as an allegory for killing the Fox universe of Marvel, which, all right, kind of clever. However, I don't know. I think what's interesting about this movie is, one, I don't know how long it'll last because it really, really heavily did need nostalgia berries to work, and they did them fantastically. This is a fantastic nostalgia berry movie, but some of those berries you're gonna really eat once, and I definitely want to see it again to see how good the member berries taste the second time. But it goes to prove a point.
Yeah.
This movie, for the most part, is just being entertainment for the sake of entertainment. It's crude, it's violent, there's cussing, there's sexual jokes, there's some jokes that go far depending on who you are. If you're Gen Z, apparently the whole movie is just unabashed craziness, but who gives a shit about what they think. It's good adult entertainment. It's a fun movie. And did you guys see Bad Boys 4?
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I did see Bad Boys 4. I did see it.
It was cool.
Out of 10, I give it a 6.9. Out of 10, I give it like a 6.5, 6.6.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't
fair.
put it. I feel like part three was like a 7, and then the other ones were just good movies. The first two. It was a good movie. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like that's it. There's no more story after this whole shit with the captain and all that. There's nowhere this can go.
There's always another cop story, though. You can always make another cop story.
Your son, you released him, you let him go free.
There's like they can
furious
with it. Just take him to space or something.
Nah, I don't do that.
Yeah, then that turns into Fast and Furious. Really.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
So I can kind of agree with you guys. I think I would actually give it a little bit higher than you, Macho. Probably like a 7.5. And I kind of feel like I give the last two movies around a 7.5. That's because of the fact that they were kind of bringing in like, okay, this is later, so let's bring in the opposite gender, right? Let's have some more female presence and give them some type of agency in here. But they didn't do it to sacrifice the other side. They're not bad at balancing the dynamic in the movies to where it doesn't distract. It's just visible, and it's just like, these are some badass women. Like, there's also some badass women around, but the movie, it's not about them. It's about the bad boys. That's who it's about, and they're now a part of that crew. And I like the dynamic. I like seeing like the expansion, because that does help with giving different story elements and stuff like that. I kind of wish they could have did it a little bit earlier in their lifetime, but it's fine. But it's entertainment. It's good entertainment. It's not. It doesn't feel like it's preachy. It's just action. Kind of just turn off your brain, watch it, laugh a bit, ignore some of the absurdities, and then go on with the rest of your day. It doesn't leave you with like, you know, that one scene, or like, man, the way that character was treating this character, like, wow, like, man, the way Marcus was talking with her and that dynamic with the woman there and da-da-da. No. They did the things that they did, but it wasn't in your face and it wasn't being preachy. And you could just go on with your day. And I feel like the fourth one did the same thing, as well as Deadpool. And those movies did pretty well overall. I believe Deadpool's probably more successful than those were.
I think it was a very good movie.
It was a good movie, and then I don't know if you guys know, but they actually released a sequel to Twister recently.
I saw that.
Oh shit! I see it though. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Twisters. So something notable about that is the director actively, and he stated this in an interview, that he didn't want his movie to reflect climate change propaganda or any type of stance on that. And he didn't want to put any gender politics in there. He just wanted it to be an entertainment movie because that's what this type of movie should be, is just entertaining. Because, yeah, it's about fucking twisters being like about the plot of a movie. It's entertainment. That's what it's going to be. And in the film, there's no
It's a fucking tornado.
things about climate change. They barely even touch on why it's happening. They're just like, yeah, it's happening. And then the two leads, there's a male and there's a female, and they are literally equal. No one's better than the other one. They're both skilled and smart, and they both are needed for this film to move forward. And they work well. Like it's not hard to do what they're trying to push on people, like nobody wants to see or nobody likes. It's just that when they do it, they're shoving it down your throat. Now, real quick for the viewers that we may have out there, I have a little video where somebody named Critical Drinker, which depending on who you are, Critical Drinker, Neurotic, people like that, you may think negatively of them, positively of them. I watched them before there was a lot of identity politics going on in Hollywood, and ironically, their stuff has literally caught the attention of corporations like Disney to where there's money spent against the videos that they make just talking about their stuff. I don't agree with everything that they say, but they have points. And in this video here, he gives just a brief description of identity politics and entertainment and what that kind of means. Just so there's a bit of a context here, because we're not trying to attack anybody who's identifying some way. That's not the problem.
I am.
Macho is. Macho's trying to attack, but you know what? That's because he's a grown man and he can do what he wants to do. We're not going to tell Macho, hey, don't do that. But we might advise him one way or the other. But he's a grown ass man. He's a grown ass man.
I really don't give a fuck what people do. As long as you don't say something stupid.
How would you define
identity politics?
Well, I mean, in terms of movies, it's the unnecessary injection of current day social issues into like a storyline where it doesn't really fit, or really the attempt to lecture the audience about what the writers feel they should believe. The exploration of, say, different political ideas is okay. It's perfectly fine, and Star Trek did it for decades, but it did it in such a way that it encouraged people to see things from a different point of view, encouraged you to think and consider different options. Whereas now it's much more prescriptive. It's, we're just going to tell you how we want you to feel, and if you don't agree with us, then you're clearly the enemy. That's not really what audiences want. I think, one, it's really patronizing to your audience to treat them with such little respect. Most of the time people watch movies we live in a hyper-politicized world now, and most of the time with our entertainment, we just want to escape from that and have just fun, really. And it feels like that's becoming more and more difficult to reach.
How would you, going back to things like Bad Boys?
That's the X. That's the accent you need to get. His accent was thick as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you say, that's true though. They are trying to, I kind of have that feeling too, like this certain, like I go back and I'll start watching old sitcoms. I was watching Kings and Queens yesterday, and the dude was like, whoa, that's mad gay on TV. Like it's on Peacock, I think. He's like, oh, that's mad gay. Whoa. And he says just like that. And I'm just like, yo, you can't even say that on a sitcom anymore. And then he's like, oh, you stink. He said, well, he used the word bitch. You know, ash. Sometimes they use shit depending on what sitcom. And I'm just like, yo, you can't even do that no more. Like,
and you know, it's my whole thing is like, I feel like there's like you should be able to have things that I guess you can identify with in media. However, I find it very curious that all of a sudden everybody is fixated on their escapist fantasy media to have something that literally is them in it. It's them, and they're in a good role, right? Nobody wants
Yeah.
to be a villain. Nobody wants to be a subclass character. It has to be a main role.
Okay.
Although they are also casting villains to look like you should be sympathetic to them, and they've been doing that for a long time. Shout out to Disney, who was doing it with the villainesses. Remember Angelina Jolie and all that bullshit? They've been doing it for a long time, motherfuckers. Um,
Yeah.
but it's too much. It doesn't need
Do you
to.
think it's right? Like what the guys say, you think is right that they try to force you to have a certain feeling towards something, or you should be able to choose what you feel for that part because it says they're making movies and shows whatever. They're trying to make you feel a certain way. You know, say they want you to have a certain feeling towards something, and it should be your decision how you feel on certain things. Which is, more older people, people 27 and up, maybe 30 and up, they're more established persons, so they know what they're looking for. But when you get the younger crowd, they don't really know what they're looking for. They don't really know who they are per se. So it's like you forcing that down. There's a lot of younger people watching movies, going in the movies, going with their friends, and then you forcing these ideas or this type of bullshit on them. That it kind of like narrows down their characteristics or them building a character for themselves. They start just picking out whatever's being forced down their throat, which I don't agree with. I agree with that fucking Irish dude 100%.
I do too. Because it's really not. It has nothing to do with being able to see yourself in there. If something is well written and or the character is relatable, if you're writing a good story, a good character, it doesn't matter what they really look like. Yes, it's
Yeah.
most likely that character is going to represent one of two things: either the person that wrote it or a specific thing that they had in their head. And depending on who they are and where they came from, you could probably make a good guess on what that character is going to look like. But at the end of the day, human characteristics and traits and things go between gender and go between different types of people and different races. So why is it so necessary for you to see somebody that looks exactly like you before you can enjoy something?
Yeah.
Why is it so important that they look like you as opposed to that's a character that I can admire or aspire to want to be, or
Or I relate to.
right. Like you can't relate to them because they don't look like you. Even
Yeah,
if the situation is relatable, you just won't because they don't have the same skin color or they're not
that's
gay.
stupid.
Or they're not, like
That's
it doesn't make sense.
that's ridiculous. That shows to me that they're just trying to curb people's imagination as well, especially the young people. Like they're trying to curb the imagination heavy. Because now it's like, oh wait, I can't relate to that because he's black, or I'm Puerto Rican and that guy's Asian, so I can't relate to. That's ridiculous, bro. But I guess that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to make one type of person, a person that doesn't think for themselves, people that don't have the ability to have critical thinking established in their minds. They don't know what it is to think for themselves. I know I said that twice, but I just have to say it because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you wear the same clothes, talk the same way, act the same way, like the same shit, so
Yeah.
it's easier to distribute or sell what they're trying to sell. They don't need to keep going out there and looking, oh, that we got to make this. Oh, we got to make this too. No, everybody wants this, so we're making this. Everybody looking for that. That's what they want. I feel like, it's like George Carlin said. He just trying to make people that's fucking stupid, can never do nothing, have bad credit, and people that don't have the ability to critically think. And I believe that shit's true.
It's really really crazy because 10 years ago when they were starting to do all this, and even before that,
He was talking
very
about it.
subtly if you said like, hey, look, there's like a sudden like feminization of things, people are just like, oh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with it being feminine? It's like, no. I'm not saying that we're adding women to things. I'm saying that the things that are there, we're just feminizing. We're replacing it. We're not adding to, we're replacing. And it has been happening slowly and slowly. And we're seeing more and more character assassinations. And just recently, we saw a couple of them happen. One of the biggest ones being Indiana Jones.
Or
They
seeing Batman cartoon with Penguin is a BBW. Like why?
right,
What was the purpose?
right.
And like what you said, they try to make more. Not to say that they never had women superheroes, but they always did. But now they're making more of them, and the ones that people didn't know about, they're bringing them to the light more because they're trying to give women. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to make women more masculine, and then demasculate the men as well. So they try to show women like, oh, you can fight too. You can be a superhero too. You can have those dreams. So not only men could fight, women could fight too. And they're just trying to mix up the whole. They're trying to destroy the balance of the world. To me, I feel like that. Like there's a certain balance. There's a certain feminine, a certain amount of feminists we need, and a certain amount of masculinity we need. And I feel like they're destroying that. They're destroying that fucking balance by fucking mending them together. It's gonna be to a point you're gonna walk down the street, you're not gonna know who's who.
I mean, they're definitely trying to combine the two because how often now like so for example in the Lord of the Rings that they well, I hate calling it that, the Rings of Power, because they can't call it the Lord of the Rings for legal reasons. They can't do a lot of certain things for legal reasons in that show. But in the Rings of Power, they hype that show up like a motherfucker, talking about how, hey, we got the Tolkien historians, we have people from the estate involved. They're here fact checking us. We're making sure this is what you are expecting. It's going to be that Peter Jackson experience on Amazon with episodes. It's going to be epic. And then there was leaks about what they were doing. They're like, nah, we're not doing that. And then you hear about them letting go the historians and the people of the estate because they just didn't agree with them being like, no, you can't do that. They're like, all right, we don't need you anymore. And so they just let them all go. And then they released the show that they released. And if you know nothing about Lord of the Rings, there's a lot of things that if you just ignore what they're doing to something that already exists, it's not bad. But when you put it into context, oh, by the way, this is this. It's like you took off a label and you're like, by the way, this is this. You're like, no, it's not. It seems inspired by, it seems adjacent to, but it is not that. And that show, their biggest thing, I wanted to try and find clips of it, but there's one of the actresses on there, a whole bunch of them, because they're all set on press releases to say the same thing. Because if you look up their interviews, they're literally saying the same thing. And there was this one woman on there, black woman. She, every single interview, she's talking about how it's a momentous occasion because she is the first female black dwarf. And now there is agency for black women.
No one never thought of that though. You see, this is what I'm trying. Like nobody sat there but like, why don't see no black dwarves? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
even me, or why I never seen a Puerto Rican dwarf? I ain't never seen a Puerto Rican. Like we don't give a fuck.
You know why?
The race don't give a fuck.
Right. Y'all motherfuckers don't watch Lord of the Rings like that. And those of you that do,
No,
just
we do
enjoy
watch. I've watched it and I just enjoyed it. I love the war scenes. This is my fucking
Right, but
favorite.
like,
they have the best war scenes.
Like it's for everyone, right? Like anybody and everybody can watch it, but there's only a certain group of people that will fixate upon that particular point.
Yeah, they need to sit down and take their fucking Ritalin. That's what they need to do.
And in addition to that, there's other characters where they're just like, oh, yes, I'm doing this, and this is such a momentous occasion here. And in the show, they have this very small woman, Galadriel, like she's supposed to be a very powerful elven woman or whatever, right? But they're just, for the sake of making their points, having at every possible moment her doing feats that just don't make sense. She takes out a cave troll by herself. There's men that are a whole like group of 8 men that just lay down their swords. They're too afraid to follow her in, and so she's like, "I'll do it." And then she goes into a land where men are known to be Ubermensch. They are stronger, faster, smarter, bigger. They're the best, and they have her by herself take 5 of them down with ease. And a character that in the lore that's supposed to be 7'11" is only about like 6 something because she's small, so he's not that much taller. He asks her to then train his Numenorian soldiers that, of course, have a small woman in there because that makes sense. You have a society of Ubermensch, and so you're just going to put women in there because women can do it too. If you had a society of Ubermensch and the women didn't have to fight, you think they're just going to be lining up to be a soldier? You might have a GI Jane per 10,000, 100,000. Like, no, they're not going to be doing that. Why would they do that?
Yeah, no, makes sense.
Who's that representing?
Yeah, it's it's just the insertion of femininity. They're just trying to insert it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's understandable. You know, say like men do have empathy, and men have compassion and stuff, but it shouldn't be inserted so much into men because men strive off a more logical way of thinking other than the emotional way of thinking. They should just insert that shit into, like, I understand what you're saying. That's kind of crazy, but I don't understand, bro. Sometimes I be flabbergasted by the shit I be seeing.
The main problem, though, isn't so much the ridiculous premise of what she's doing. Because there are men and male characters and things that do shit that's fucking ridiculous plenty of times. It's not like this is not a trope. So I'm not saying that every time a woman comes on screen, it's something ridiculous. What I'm saying is recently, it comes 2 ways. One, they're just uber powerful and they didn't earn it. They're just a Mary Sue. They just have it and they're the best. Any males that are around cannot be as good or more powerful. And most of the time, they're straight white male bad guys. There's not a bad guy that's a female anymore. That's not the case. They're misunderstood. They're not bad. Maleficent wasn't an evil witch, guys. She was a misunderstood woman.
Yeah, bullshit.
Trauma, and that's why she was doing bad things. So you should feel bad for her. Don't condemn her, guys.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Come on. On that note, I'm gonna get myself some, so I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to one of our sponsors here, Dizzle, and let them get a little bit of a shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We'll be right back.
Subscribe for more videos.
Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
I sat in a bar once and a man handed me a drink, and it was the most cool, refreshing, laid-back Cheshire Cat cocktail that I had ever had in all of my days. It made me feel like I was on a tropical island, but also standing as tall as a CEO at the exact same time. Next thing I knew, I was smarter, I was sharper, I was cooler, I was calmer. I turned around, I asked the barman, I said, "What'd you give me?" He looked at me hard and he said, "I just gave you a dizzle."
I'm not sure what happened there.
That commercial is good. Make you
This is
smarter.
before. But imagine Dizzle is fantastic con Coca-Cola de Mexico.
That's from Mexico?
Sí, ahora en el bottle de glass con el capi. Estás muy bien.
Where the fuck did you buy that shit, bro?
Store. It just be around. It's just around out here. But kind of going back to the topic at hand, like this is it's a problem because it's not doing any justice to the people that they're putting into it. That's the problem. Because this keeps getting referred to, or not referred to, but like it keeps on happening, where people act like Sigourney Weaver didn't do Alien, and Linda Hamilton didn't do Terminator, and that there had like even though she was wrong in saying that she was the first female action star, Jennifer Lawrence has had some action roles that were not bad. Like,
She was trolling. She was trolling.
you know, you. But
She
where
was
is she
trolling.
now? Where is she now, though? Maybe the troll wasn't worth it.
I mean, she's probably making another Hunger Games movie or something.
The hungriest games. But like there have been strong female action stars, and they've been done fine, and it's all been about the writing. Like when with the Matrix, Trinity, she was perfectly like she was a badass. Did she end up dying? Yeah, she did, but that doesn't mean she didn't have a very important integral part.
Yeah,
You know?
she was one of she is like if it wasn't for her, the Matrix wouldn't it just wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, it's about them always finding each other in each lives and shit. So it's like she's a very large part of the Matrix. It's a very big part of it. So it's like,
I still haven't seen 4, but I know that in 4
they explain that more.
Reversed, which is fine, except it's coming out now, and it's like, is that the story that you always wanted to tell? Because it's been a really long time, and everybody just thought that was done, and now you're just like, here's another Matrix, and I think I saw that they're making another one.
Yeah,
and
they're making a 5th part. It's
like, if you're gonna do all that, why don't we just do a crossover finally and do Terminator and Matrix? Let's acknowledge the black female sci-fi writer that came up with this, that we won't give any credit to. Why won't we uplift her? Because nobody really knows.
I wish
that
they did. I feel like that shit would be fucking amazing if they put the right writers and the right director on that movie. I feel like that shit would be amazing, bro.
That's the thing, though. Like, if they did that, if they actually were doing what they were saying, you would know that there was a female black writer who did all that, who wrote Terminator and who wrote Matrix, 2 of the biggest sci-fi franchises in recent movie history, pretty much of sci-fi history ever, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't know that. They think the Wachowskis wrote it, and they think Steven Spielberg did it.
No.
And that's not the case. So when are we going to shout her out? When are we going to let people know? Oh, we're not going to do that, because that would actually be doing what we're talking about.
Because she's black. Oh, and she's a woman. So we were
right. And it's actual due justice recognition. They don't do that. They do fake recognition to incite controversy, to create interest, to make more money. Because all of these identity politics that they put in there, whether it's for women or those of the alphabet groups out there, I don't know how many there are at this point. Sorry, I've not been keeping up with it, but like all of those people as well. You can have those characters, but nobody wants to see a movie that is about a superhero where for some reason their sexuality takes a really big plot point. Like, why does that matter? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I want to see them go be a superhero. You want to do something like that, then go make Philadelphia again and change the context. Like, I don't understand why we need to have this in every single film. Where is the representation for just your average male? Because now all masculinity is just toxic.
Which it doesn't really exist. That's bullshit. It's either a dude is masculine or he's toxic. Because you could be super masculine and not be toxic. Which is that's just like you said, it's dumb again, labeling it to make men look. If a man states their point of view, that's toxic. That's toxic masculinity. or if a man says something or does something, that's toxic masculinity. No, it's either he's toxic or he isn't toxic. Because you can have someone that isn't masculine at all and be toxic as fuck. They
Right.
just labeling it. When they're gonna say toxic femininity, you don't hear that
Right.
word thrown. You don't hear that word thrown around.
And the problem is that it's not toxic masculinity and it's not toxic femininity. It's toxicity. Are
Yeah,
you
that's so.
that's the are you a toxic person? Because if you
Yeah.
are, then whatever angle you're coming from is going to be corrupt and fucked up in how you're doing it. It's not because you are doing that. And the complete lack of any type of male character.
It doesn't matter how much fucking hormones you have. Like, you're either toxic or you're fucking not. That's it. Like, if I have more masculine hormones flowing through my body, that's just my biology. That doesn't make me toxic. What makes me toxic is the things that I do or the things that I say. You understand? It's just like we were saying earlier. They're just trying to like build up on this whole narrative of theirs, whatever the fuck the narrative is. But they're just trying to like make men look smaller than what they are. They try to debunk men in every angle, which is kind of fucked up. But I feel like they do it to women too, but not as much as they do to men.
In a different way though, because what they've done is they have simultaneously killed masculinity and femininity because they're not allowing women to be feminine. They're making them the masculine characters, and then the male characters.
As I was saying earlier.
And so it's completely flipped to where nobody's really doing anything that makes any real sense because there's no real plot reason for it. It's just because that's what's going on right now. We want to make a point on it because done with the patriarchy. That same patriarchy, at the end of the day, statistically speaking, men are going to work.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying women do not work or cannot work, but statistically,
they do
the ones that are doing the really hard shit that literally keeps the world going have penises. And they were born with them. And that's just
it's just biology. It's not our fault. That's how the world has been managed since the beginning of humanity. It's just what it is. Now, when you try to take that away from a man, like we made the bridges, we made the technology, we made the buildings, all right. But women get their glory too. Like you made the motherfuckers, you nurtured the motherfuckers, you showed them companions, you told them, don't go kill these motherfuckers because of your temper. Relax, be logical. Even a woman that's more into her feelings have taught men how to be more logical.
Right.
Just what I'm saying. So, but now you trying to, like you said, they trying to mend the two, bring really fuck it up, make it look like a pot of spaghettis, like where everything's just entangled and you don't know what's what, you don't know what end you pulling. So it's like it's so fucked up, and it's horrible that our kids, like, that's why I'm real big on in my household, my children. I'm real big on. I teach my boys what it is to be a man, how you're supposed to talk to women, how you treat women, how you treat other men. You're saying, like, and just how to be a man in general. And I show them that, hey, listen, this is your little sister. You got to treat her differently, not because she's a woman, because she's just more fragile. You say you can't wrestle with your brother the way you wrestle with your sister. You can't. It's just why? Because I want to keep it the right way. Shit has to be balanced.
And if at the end of the day she ends up being a great wrestler, fantastic. You're not saying she can't do that.
Yeah, I'm not saying she can't. She just told me the other day she wants to do soccer, and I'm just like, I'm cool with that. I don't care. Play basketball, you play whatever the fuck you want. You want to go be a swimmer, we could do that. We could do whatever. But just know your boundaries.
There's a difference, and it's not a good look because not every girl wants to be some masculine giant man beating up stoic emotionless bitch.
Yeah, not every woman wants to be a plumber. You know what I mean?
Well, most women don't want to be plumbers or do like garbage work or go in the sewers, and that's fine. They shouldn't really have to, relatively speaking. They can if they want to, but it's like fighting for something that you want the right to do, but still say no.
Yeah, like you have rights. They're fighting for rights that they already have. Because I could sit right here and there's not one thing you can say that a man has a right to and a woman doesn't. A woman has a right to do it too. This is not the fucking 40s no more. It's not the 30s or the 40s no more.
There's still some nuance out there, but it's not as ridiculous as they make it to be. And to kind of go back to the movie aspect of it in the media, like the representations of things out there just make no sense. You have the Equalizer show come out and it's Queen Latifah. Like what? That's just, I don't.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and it might have been a good show. I enjoy Queen Latifah as an
But
actress.
Equalizer, like Denzel Washington's Equalizer, they didn't even start it off with a younger version of her. Because remember, he was younger in the first movie. He just had retired.
And they did I never got around to watching it because I didn't have time to. I wanted to check it out, even though it was Queen Latifah, but also I stopped I stopped hearing about it. I was very curious, Dre. I was very curious. It's like, why the fuck are they doing this, and why did they cast her? I want to see what is she gonna do, because the way that Denzel plays that role,
she's the equalizer.
Like, it's very Denzel. Like, how are you gonna do that?
Yeah, and then you see him in the last two movies. He's older, so like it's self-explanatory. He uses weapons and his coordination and his IQ to equal, as an equalizer. That would be like, to neutralize his enemy. He uses an equalizer, which is his IQ and his strategic manner. So I can see a woman doing it if she's younger, but like there has to be like a backstory to it. And is she supposed to be him in another universe, or is she another kind of equalizer? You know what I'm saying? Like what like they should have just what they should have did was the backstory to Equalizer. Because remember the first movie, he just retired like 2 months before he got that Walmart job.
Yeah.
So they should have did the show as in like how he became the fucking dude that he was in the first movie.
Right. Like
now you got me curious. I have to watch one episode to see how ridiculous it is.
Right, and it just that's not going to be good because nobody wants to see that. If somebody wants to see an Equalizer show, I guarantee you they weren't saying, I want an Equalizer show with Queen Latifah as the Equalizer. Yes. Nobody was asking for that. Nobody. It just, you're forcing that as an angle. You're just saying,
I feel like she probably watched the fucking movie and she loved it.
Probably.
She probably was like, I could probably do better. And she probably came out with a crew and said, yo, let's do the fucking Equalizer shit. That's probably what she thought. That's probably, or maybe someone else thought that. But I understand you, like I for a prime example, like they did the Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise. He did 2 movies, right? And then they came out with the show. The show was still a dude. It was a younger version of him, but the show was better than the movies to me. Yeah, huh?
It was the guy from The Office.
Yeah, the big fucking brolic dude. Yeah. So the show to me was better than the movies, but you're saying don't get you any confused because he's like, all right, it's a dude. Oh, now they show a younger version of him. Okay, maybe they're going a little back before the movies. He's like, it's still a dude. They didn't take Jack Reacher and made it fucking Jackie Reacher. They didn't do that.
Right. They're not doing something like what they did to fucking Black Panther. Like he got one, Black Panther got one movie, and then with all the Black Panther content,
he died, bro.
The actor died.
Yeah. Wait. He died.
He died, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah. He died. But what he's trying to say, I understand what Tyler's saying.
Like
all the shit they gave in that first movie, all the actors, everything in there, and then he had 3 appearances, right? He did one of the Avenger movies, right? And I think he was in Cold War. Yeah, Civil War. I mean,
and they said that in the next movie, well, they're looking to find the new whoever's going to be T'Challa's son. They don't know who it's going to be, but they're looking for somebody in the next movie. They're not going to keep her as Black Panther.
Because that was so. Real quick, they should maybe try Denzel Washington's son. I wonder how he would do it.
He's too old.
Is he?
No, he's like 32.
No. What they're gonna do is they want to have somebody younger play like he's coming into
Oh,
the
okay.
role of
Or
being.
being like a teenager growing into it.
Yeah,
Type
sort
shit.
of like early 20s,
Maybe
something like
20s.
that.
Okay.
So
I
he's
can
gonna look
understand
like
that.
Timothy Chalamet, but black. He's probably gonna be that.
No, not
from those
that young.
that fucking. What was that magical Negro movie? That nigga. He's
No,
probably
not
gonna-
him.
Yeah, he'll be. That would be the next logical move for them to do an MCU, because instead of just respecting that a very beloved actor died who played a role that people rather enjoyed across the board. Not everybody loved the movie, but overall, that was a good Marvel movie. I enjoyed it. I like the blackness in there. Cool. And then they made another movie. They kill him off screen and then use his death to try and shoehorn a woman in as Black Panther. That's the entire premise of the movie. And then they're also trying to introduce a character called Ironheart. There's going to be a super genius black girl to replace Iron Man. And then that all got delayed because it didn't work. People were not feeling that, because you're not going to respect a character who has tons of stories left and then just kill him and then act like this is a win for black people. How is that a win for black people? That was the first black superhero in a long time that any black young boy could probably have looked up to. And instead of just recasting like you should have done, you just killed him for no fucking reason.
I mean, he died in real life too. Like, yeah,
No,
he died.
he didn't. Black Panther is not a real character. He did not die. You can recast him. That's what they should have did. They did it for other roles. But instead of doing that, they capitalized on his death because people loved him. And so because people loved him,
he was a great actor, though.
Shoehorned that movie very quickly. Nobody talks about Wakanda Forever. Nobody remembers that shit because it was a cash grab.
I forgot about it until you brought it up now. I ain't gonna lie.
It wasn't that bad of a movie, to be honest.
It was still a cash grab.
Every Marvel movie is a cash grab. Are you serious?
No, that is not what I'm talking about.
Every time they make a new movie, they want to break the record for it at the box office.
So you're going to take so it makes sense to then take a character that doesn't exist because of this man and has all these stories you had success with, and instead of just letting the character not get screen time for a bit and then just bring him back and be like, oh, I was off doing some other bullshit that I've done in comics and now I'm back again. Recast, because they do that.
Right? All you had to do was say was, why did they just recast him as somebody else? Which I agree with.
That's what I did say that.
No, you said mad other stuff, and then you said that. I'm just saying they could have just recasted him, but like you said, it's a cash grab. You got to make them. You got to strike where the iron's hot. So make the movie when it's the time to make it. Because now, what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to wait years and years to make another Black Panther movie to recast somebody as T'Challa. Like, just do this because it's gonna make money. It's not good to watch, but it works.
And then you destroy your character. It was a waste. It was fucking stupid. Because they could have done another Black Panther movie by now. They could have just waited and just started it up again by now, which they're going to do anyway with this next whatever what they're doing, because they've already done recastings and things have been put into motion. Like the new Captain America movie coming out, the recast it with Falcon, and it seems kind of bloated and a little bit confusing and very trying to talk about what's going on in America right now, as opposed to trying to tell a story about Falcon becoming Captain America. Like, it's very
nobody cares about that,
what's going on right now. And it's like,
nobody cares about Falcon being Captain America, bro. Nobody want to see that.
And yet here it is. They're still doing it. He's still
that's gonna do bad. That's not gonna.
That's coming out this year.
How about Robert Downey Jr. taking the position as to be Dr. Doom?
I think that's so dumb, but I get it.
They have to. I don't. They're losing money.
I get it because it's a proven actor, so they know he can do the job. But it's like he's gonna always be Iron Man. So why would they make Doom be? I don't know. I don't like
it. There's a lot of suspicion that they're going to just make him be a variant version of Tony Stark. Because there's a version of Tony Stark that is Doom.
And that just like, why?
And they I believe Robert Downey Jr. himself, I believe, said that like as a hint, it's going to be like Tony Stark, but trying to like help the world, but from a complete angle. And it's like, so we're getting evil Iron Man because they can't do anything else. They're like, so you're going to do what you're doing with everything else and try to gain sympathy for the bad guy by getting somebody that we like. I see what you do at Disney, evil fucks. Everything you do got a witch in it. If it's a positive role model for a woman out of Disney, guarantee it's a witch.
Oh snap!
She should be a warlock. Why she gotta be a witch for? Huh?
Because warlocks are, well, unless you're doing it.
You know what? You're right. Nowadays, I guess a witch is a warlock's witch. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, everybody's got to get their moment.
It's disgusting. It's vile.
It is. It's
ridiculous. It makes me think of
it's abomination to the characters that we once knew.
It makes me think of this. I have to show this real quick, because it just blows my mind and it's absolutely hilarious. What just happened? There we go. This is we claim fair use. I'm gonna say it on this one right here. I don't know if anyone posted on there, but it's been all over the internet. So I don't want us to be getting touched for this shit because I've seen it literally everywhere. But this was a scene in Star Wars recently. Of a couple of witches, and well, they're doing a ritual.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
What movie is this?
The power of two, the power of many.
That's where Star Wars is.
What movie was that?
That's Star Wars.
Well, is it from the show or what?
Yeah, that was from The Acolyte.
I thought so.
It's from the new shit. Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, that's from The Acolyte, and that show has just been all over the place as well, doing very interesting things, pointless things, and it's fine. Like if you just want to make something and do whatever. But it's really getting annoying that I don't know what happened to my camera, but it's really getting annoying that they're just gonna take IPs and literally run them into the ground until there's nothing left. Like they're just gonna grind the bones till they're dust, and it's like, all right, well, I guess I have to grab something else to smash into the ground because it's not stopping. It seems like it might be, but not for a couple of years. Like everything that seems to come out, fucking even Scooby-Doo is not safe. The last thing they did with Velma, like that was wow. Like why even call it Scooby-Doo? You could have just made it a different show that was kind of based off of Scooby-Doo, and it probably would have done better with people. But instead, you completely destroyed all the characters people know and gave them some variant version of themselves. That's fucking weird. It's never good. It's just fucking weird. It's annoying. It's bullshit. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But yeah, Star Wars is dead. Maybe the MCU might come back one day. Don't know. Here's
Depends
hoping.
what they do next and who they cast.
So you think there's a lot of identity politics in the Marvel movies?
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
That's all Marvel is identity politics.
Every single movie.
Did you see Madame Web?
No, nobody did. Even the actresses in there said this wasn't a good movie.
I saw it. It was I think I'd rather watch Green Lantern than that fucking movie, bro. That movie was horrible. People watch it just for pretty faces. That's all.
Terrible. Like they just and that's the whole thing, right? Like they give a whole movie that is for women to show them in a strong position doing whatever, and then it's not good and nobody sees it. There's all this hullabaloo about people aren't going to do this because they're racist, because they're sexist, because they're bigots. And then that same side doesn't even show up to the game. Like nobody's there. It's like all the people Or like, oh, the WNBA is actually good. Why aren't you supporting it? It's like, why aren't you supporting it? I don't give a fuck about it. Why aren't you going to the games? Why don't you support it? You do that. You invite your friends and bring your friends to the game instead of complaining about why people aren't at the game. Go to the damn game. Give them money. Make them valuable. Because you bitching about it ain't going to make it valuable.
What they need to do is lower those rims to 8 feet.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter what they do.
So they
It
can
doesn't
fucking
matter.
dunk.
Even if they dunk, no one's going to watch women play basketball. Women don't want to watch that, and the majority of the people who watch the WNBA are men, and that's because men just like basketball. But
Yeah.
we're never gonna
Yeah.
watch women play basketball more than we want to watch men play basketball. It's just what it is.
It's like, you're right, because women don't really watch basketball. The ones that watch
No,
are the ones
they
that
watch
play.
basketball when men play. They want to watch men play. They don't want to see girls play.
Right. Like women actually often speak pretty well for themselves. And I don't remember what I was watching, but someone was talking about how men we like things, and then women like the idea of things, and it makes us interact with stuff completely.
That's it.
We can like enjoy stuff on a very simple level where women may not, and they prefer just the idea of something, and it can cause and women will let you know if they like something. So like, for example, a movie like Star Wars or whatever, something comes out and it's leaning towards what men like. If we like the movie, we'll probably buy some products from it. But if women like the movie, they're not necessarily going to be drawn into it at all. Like we have a different kind of devotion to our stuff that women do not. So making a movie that originally would be focused for men, but targeting it towards women who historically don't even have the buying trends you're trying to create, is a terrible investment, because now you're destroying the people that are actually supporting your business, which are men. Men get attacked for not supporting women's stuff when often men are supporting women's stuff. Not that women don't, but the credit is often very poorly skewed, and that's by intention, because there is an agenda. And just because there's an agenda doesn't mean that who you are or how you feel or what you go through is invalid. It means that you're being taken advantage of, and you should stop getting mad at other people and start getting mad at people taking advantage of you in your situation. Because it's not the average person, it's the average company. It's all the companies that change their shit to pride colors for June, but won't change their shit to a prominent black person or something in February. It's a bunch of fake nonsense. If it's gonna make money, they're gonna support you. If they don't think it's gonna make money, it's not gonna happen. And they're trying to just open up into a market that literally doesn't exist, and it's destroyed tons of Americana just to get there.
But that kind of makes sense what you're saying right now, because if you think about it, like I was saying earlier, they're trying to feminize the world, and aren't women more consumers than men are? Women buy more shit than men.
Yeah.
So if you can feminize everything and make everything something that you can purchase, then they're always going to be making money, because if it's a woman, she's going to buy it. If the man is a fucking sissy man, he's going to buy it. So they're going to get more sales now, because it's, borderline feminine, what they're trying to sell. Or everything, everything in general. So,
right.
So it does make sense when you say it like that. Because women are consumers, bro. Like they'll go and they'll waste $500 on nothing.
Wasting $500 is relative. Most of the stuff that women may buy to a man, that's going to be a waste. But then we definitely have shit that they would consider the same thing. It's relative. Some actually are more wasteful than others. But at the same time, you're right. Like they will be like, once they are influenced enough to get something, because that's why social media marketing works so well, and that's why it's so heavy out there, is once they've been influenced, that's usually hard to get out. They're not stuck all the time, but there's so much that just keeps women in that same mind space of consuming, to the point that nowadays it's so sophisticated, even targeted just towards people in general, but like things that you don't think are ads are now ads, and what looks like a person talking about something is not them talking about something, it's them trying to just do some propaganda and make you think a certain thing, or think that something that's true is not true. And every single thing that you consume, there's a bias, there's an agenda behind it. Somebody is trying to make you think a certain way. And with these politics recently, there's a lot of influencers, quote unquote, who are really just people who made videos that everybody liked. And for some reason, we gave people money for that. And that's where we fucked up. But anyway, they don't know shit. And now they're getting contacted by political parties being offered thousands of dollars to say scripted things. Like, just turn off your TV. Turn off the show, everybody. Go home. Go outside, touch some grass, play with your dog. Don't go on social media. Don't even watch this. If you missed the show, don't watch it for a week. Watch it after next week. Just don't consume, Morty. Stop consuming. You're fat. You're fat, and your pineal glands calcified, and
Buy the train.
And your heart's enlarged, and you need to you need to calm down.
Morty, buy the train, Morty. Buy another train.
Don't return it.
It's just too much, bro. Like, I tell my wife all the time that if I wasn't married with kids, I would probably be like a minimalist, because I don't really need too much. You understand?
Yeah, that's every man.
I feel like it's the same. Like, I'll probably have one or two posters, probably one of my mom, my dad, and then another one of fucking either Batman or whatever fucking theme I'm feeling around that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But women will have a whole bunch of shit. Like my wife, she has fucking 10 pillows on the sofa. For what? Why you got 10 pillows on the sofa?
That's just how they wired, bro.
Bro, why? Why? I want to sit here.
It's aesthetics.
Yeah,
it is aesthetic, but the sofa is not. A sofa is not something that you make for aesthetics. I hate that shit.
No, the sofa's for. That's why you gotta get yourself a lazy.
If you have two living rooms, yeah, you make one for looks and one for people to actually fucking sit down.
Yeah, but if you only have living room, you gotta compromise, right?
Yeah, that's why every time I get home, I grab all the pillows and I put it on one side of the sofa. She gets pissed off, like, bro, I don't want all this cushion, bro.
Yo, you gotta ask Santa for a chair, bro, for a nice sofa chair. One of those big ass recliners, when you sit in it, you just kind of disappear.
Yeah, this is shit that my father has. Perfect. I have a gaming chair that does. I have a gaming chair that goes all the way fucking back, and it's like a fucking little lazy boy.
Why don't you use that? Why are you been sitting on the couch?
I want the couch, because I'm most likely I'm gonna fall asleep on the bitch. You know, I'm gonna lay to the side. It's just always been weird to me. They just buy this, and you know, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it is. You know, you come home to a beautiful looking house, but it's like, okay, where does it stop though? Where does it stop? You go into a bathroom. Yo, where's the towel? Oh, you gotta get one from the towel closet. Why don't you have a towel ready, like for me, like I could use right there?
Look, I will agree with you that having things that have a functionality, but then you don't use them for that functionality, they're just decor. It is decor, a bit, however, it does.
I understand
it. To it that I definitely appreciate. Although, please don't put don't put a decor hand tile next to a sink. Don't be doing that. You're baiting people. Please don't do that. Leave some paper towels or something. Like, don't put just decor nearby. All right, please don't do that.
Yeah, that's I get mad when there's not an actual towel that's supposed to be used for your hands, and I go and all I see is the decor, and I be like, I don't give a fuck. I use the back of it. You'll say I'm a piece of shit.
What you gotta do is you gotta grab the toilet paper roll, just use the whole thing to dry your hands off.
Yeah, that's even worse. Fucking Taylor paper costs so much. I've done it before, but then they get stuck to your hand and so it don't really work out too well. But I understand it gives you the cozy feeling. You know, I guess that's what women are supposed to do.
Right,
But,
like because not having that is not really as nice as having it, especially since you don't have to do it. Like if you were doing it and you were doing that and it was for you, but you
well,
only
when you're married, you're doing it. Oh, can you hang
well,
this up over there? Hanging up 500 fucking photos. You'd be like, how many times you want to see pictures of your fucking mom? Just need one. Just need one picture of your mother. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with it, but it's okay. But it is what it is. You know, I guess that's what women are for. You know, I'm not saying that's all they for. I'm just saying
a
that
woman is gonna
they
make your
do
house.
make that. Yeah, you know, you buy them a house, they make a home, like how they like to say.
That's why men are typically minimalists when they're on their own because we know how to make a house. They don't make
Yeah,
a
but
home.
like if you come to my house and I'm a minimalist, you know where everything's at. It's simple. Like that chair's to sit down, that bed is to sleep on. You say like it's everything is there for its purpose. Like I'm not gonna have 4 different coffee makers because I don't like how the other one works.
You're not walking around looking like, is it chocolate? Is it cake?
No, everything is it is what it seems to be. Like you know, it's not a fucking riddle. You know. Oh, can I use this towel? No, yes, you can.
Is the towel cake?
Yeah. Like what?
Is the can opener cake?
Like my mom is old school. She kind of has that flow. She likes decorating, putting little cute things. But my mom is a little more old school, so she's forward. So she's when you come in the house, be like, listen, when you use my bathroom, I got towels right there. That's for you. Don't touch those fucking towels in there. Okay, bet. I guess you know, she's just a little bit more direct.
We got Macho in here walking around like this.
Present food. Fucking cake. That shit better be cake. You got some strong ass seed.
いや、設楽さん、これ本当にだるまです。
That's
Shout out to-
crazy.
shout out to
Motherfuckers
Japan.
with bow tie out of cake.
Yeah, right.
You
Shout
go on
out
a
to
date.
Most Extreme Elimination.
That's
Fantastic.
real fat nigga shit though. Like have a whole bow tie that's made out of cake. You go on a date, you don't like what the fuck
Hey,
they serving there. You just be like, yo, you know what? I bring cake in
Nacho.
there. What?
It's 2024. They don't like fat nigga. They prefer big back.
Big back, big back, big back, big back.
Loaded up with all the things I need more calories. Can't fit inside my
Imagine you on the
car.
date, you're like, oh fuck this. I can't eat sushi. You just pull your fucking bow tie off and start eating that shit.
That's a dessert.
I bring this just in case because I knew I was gonna like this shit. Cake always hits the spot.
Right. Shout out to Cake of all kinds. We appreciate you. You are needed. So I guess right here we'll do a final thought here. Where are we at? Final thoughts. Here we go. So Dre, what do you feel about identity politics in media, and where do you think we're going? What do you think?
It's the worst thing that ever happened to politics.
That's saying something.
Because it's not because politics. Every political conversation now has nothing to do with politics. It's everything to do about your people's feelings and their community and their race, their gender. It's like, damn, it's all Obama's fault.
You think so? You think it's his fault?
Shout out
Yeah.
to Obama.
No. Shout out to very. Oh,
Barry O. Shout out to Barry O, aka Obama.
Barry Sotero.
Is his name like
Barry
Osama?
Sotero, yes. Barry Sotero, who went to the Mars training facility. I don't know if you guys ever came across that.
Michelle Obama's a man.
Fantastic.
You said what?
Michelle Obama's a man.
Allegedly.
You sure Obama's a man? I never heard that.
Michelle Obama's a man.
Oh.
I seen the dick pics.
I did. What?
I seen them.
You seen what?
I seen them. Nah, he got a bulge, bro. She got a bulge though. Every time she in the dress, she got a bulge.
I don't know if I've seen those pics. I don't think so, but I did hear. What was her name? Who
Joan Rivers.
Yeah, there you go. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Joan Rivers.
Yep.
Was walking into a store or something like that. And somebody was asking her a question, and she just casually was like, "Oh, we know that is a man with Michael Obama.
Oh, Obama's gay.
Michelle's a man." Like she just says it so casually and matter of factly that you can't ignore how much she said it like that. It's like, excuse me.
She said it so clear too. She was like, Obama's gay, his wife is a man.
Right.
She
it's
just
like,
says it straight
whoa,
up.
whoa. And then she died like 3 weeks later.
And it was like, hey, stop your blasphemous.
Right. It's like, I guess
stop your blasphemy.
She was like 85 years old too.
Right, but
yeah, she didn't have no signs. She had no signs of sickness or anything. That bitch just died.
Yeah, she was 80 something years old too. Like when it's time to go, it's time to go.
I mean, Betty White been kicking it for a minute.
Yeah, nah,
actually, Betty White is still around. Did she die?
Who knows?
I'm trying. Hold on a second.
That's why they killed her, because they were like, she's 85. Nobody's gonna believe we killed her.
Right? They're gonna be like, it was old age. It's like, nah, she was talking crazy.
Oh, she did die apparently.
Who, Betty White?
Yeah.
I mean, she was like, what, 93?
She died 3 years ago at 99.
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
God,
that's
damn.
a life. That's a long life.
God, damn. She said 99?
2021. That's wild. It's a long ass resume. Well, shout out to Betty White. Also, shout out to Ian McKellen, just because he's a badass. I'm sorry, not Ian McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen.
McKellen, he's also a badass, but that's not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Count Dooku, aka James Bond. I forgot his real name, but shout out to y'all. Just because you're old, you've been around. Morgan Freeman, same thing to you. Denzel.
Sean Connery still alive?
Nah, Connery died.
Yeah, he died.
He died? When the fuck he died?
Like probably 10 years ago.
Sean Connery.
For real? When do I ever seen that motherfucker in the movie?
I just watched The Rock the other day with him in there.
That's a good fucking movie.
And Nicolas Cage is terrible, but that's a good movie.
Yeah, he died in 2020. He lived a long time.
Oh, it was 4 years ago.
I thought it was longer, but yeah, he died a while ago.
You know why you thought it was longer? Because he hasn't made a movie in a while.
Yeah, he's been out of movies for a while.
Yeah. He wasn't like Harrison Ford and like dipping in and out like what's his name? Clint Eastwood.
I think he should have did some narrating though. He should have did some narrating parts. They should have gave to him. I know they gave him a couple of documentaries that they did like on Netflix and shit, but
yeah, there was a couple things on there.
That's his voice. His voice was the shit. He had a good ass voice.
What are your final thoughts on the topic, sir?
For me, I agree completely with Andre. I feel like there shouldn't be no identity politics at all. It shouldn't exist. It's just like he said, politics is not what it used to be. Like to me, it doesn't seem like debates anymore. It just seems like you either choose this, you're a piece of shit, or if you choose that, you on the right way. There's no more like I said earlier too, no more critical thinking. And politics has, none of these presidents really been that good past couple, years, whatever. But at least the debates and the politics was actually something that you can look at and debate about. Now it's just becoming foolish. It's foolery, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But and I feel like the identity. I don't know. I feel like identity should be personal as well, to a certain extent. Now it's fucking everywhere. It's everything.
There used to be a
And
sense of privacy, and now the private things are just public.
it's too public. Like sexuality shouldn't be worn on your sleeve. Should be something that's more personal. Like, did you know that Miss Maryland that won this year is the first trans man to win?
Right. So the best woman in Maryland is a man.
Yeah, so we winning in all aspects. We winning in men's sports, we winning in women's sports. Like, get it through your fucking thick head, bitches. We the ones. We are the ones. We the ones that make the world go round. We could beat y'all in your own shit. Y'all can't beat us in nothing. Come over here.
All right.
that was gonna be the Mott's minute, but I didn't know.
You want to do it real quick? You got something to say?
No, that was it.
Yeah.
I was gonna talk about the Miss Maryland, first transsexual man to win, which is fucking bananas.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could pull her up. Like, she really looks like a woman.
Give me a second.
Which is crazy. That's another identity politics. It had to be known. They're telling everybody that a man could win a woman's pageant, which is ridiculous.
Oh, it's a Marine's wife too.
Girls. Makes sense though, but sounds like a Marine.
Let me see.
Says a Marine.
Tara John. That means you're Miss Maryland USA 2024. It's Bailey Ann.
Maryland,
The Asian, that makes sense
first
too.
Asian American and trans Miss Maryland, Bailey Ann Kennedy made history on June 1st by becoming the first transgender woman to win the title of Miss Maryland USA. Kennedy, who is of Cambodian descent, also broke barriers as the first Asian American and military wife to hold the title, achieving this with her first pageant. Kennedy, whose husband is a U.S. Marine, advocates for military spouses and the United Service Organization, which provides support to the U.S. Armed Forces members and their families. She also champions for beauty without an expiration date, having surpassed the previous age limit of 28 for Miss Universe participants. When speaking with DC News Now, Kennedy stated that she hopes her win inspires LGBTQ plus youth to embrace their identities and fosters greater acceptance and understanding of the community. She will now compete for Miss USA in LA on August 4th,
That's a
aiming to
boy.
become the oldest
That's
and
a lady
first
boy.
trans Miss USA.
It is a lady boy. But I'm saying, I know that, but I'm saying there's certain angles where you
Hi,
can't really
Andrea.
tell.
My name is Bailey Ann, and I'm Miss Maryland USA 2024.
You are making history
I
in
am
so
lady
many
boy.
ways. You were on Miss Maryland USA on the very first day of Pride Month. What does that symbolize for you?
It symbolizes everything because, as we all know, MUO has now celebrated women universally, no matter their age, no matter their gender, or their marital status.
She sounds retarded.
And as a
No
proud
matter their
trans
age,
woman,
no matter
I
their
hope
gender.
to display this
Woman is a woman.
in a positive light.
crazy.
And as an
This is
immigrant
women's fault,
myself,
though.
the
It's all
immigrant
women's
tenacity,
fault.
I hope
They
to
let
showcase
it
that to
happen.
people.
Right.
They're not fighting. They're not
Yeah,
fighting, bro. They're not fighting back and saying, no, fuck that. We're women. You're men. That's what distinguishes the both. That's
like-
crazy, bro. That's crazy that they even allowed a dude to participate in that pageant. Even though, you know, oh, that's a hate crime, she probably would try to sue them. That's why they were scared. But as judges, I would have just put her in the back of the pack, just knowing that.
Well, everything has a gender now, Macho. Because I don't know if
it's
you know,
horrible.
Leslie Headland, who is one of the showrunners at Lucasfilm, who used to be, funny enough, direct assistant for what's his name? The Hollywood exec that got sent to jail. What's his name?
Oh no.
Fat
Which one?
The fat old guy, the real powerful one. Name it start with a W, I believe. Anyway, Used to work for him. He went to jail. Now she is suddenly a lesbian. And she was being interviewed about Star Wars because she's like a show lead on that show I was talking about. And she was talking about how, oh man, yeah, like totally R2D2 and C3PO are a lesbian couple. And like all these things where they're just assigning gender to things and nothing means anything anymore. Like it's fine if you want to be in a beauty pageant. So then start a beauty pageant for
First,
everybody to be in, but don't destroy what was there. It was for women, not for people who feel like they're a woman. A woman. So if you
they
want
should
to have
have their own fucking trans pageant.
of Maryland pageant, and men and women can compete, but I imagine there won't be a lot of men in there anyway because they don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know
Anyway.
why she didn't go to a drag show and just win that
I
shit.
I don't care at the end of the day what people do. I just don't care for it to always be the news put in my face. I don't care.
Yeah,
Let her win Miss
yeah, most
Maryland,
definitely.
but don't make the headline be first transgender Asian American woman. I don't care. Why? Like, why? What about all the other states? All the other states don't. We don't get to know who's all the other states because they're not any buzzwords that are going to get you money. Then I don't give a shit. I don't care about anything that is not actually serving anybody and it's just existing to make money. And all of y'all, mainly women, well, actually, all of us, we're all getting played for different levels, but it's all to make money. Nobody's supporting your groups. Nobody actually likes you. Nobody's trying to help you. That's why you're getting angry all the time. That's why there's still no happiness in your life because all the groups that are trying to say they're supporting you are just feeding you negativity and hateful things. So that way you become a negative, hateful person who can't get over your own mental anguish and issues. Maybe you are this way, maybe you're that way, maybe you don't know what's going on in life, but I guarantee you, most of us don't give a fuck about what you choose to do as long as it's not infringing on my right to do what I want to do. That's why there's certain laws and expectations we have for humans. You want to be transgender or whatever, whether or not I agree with it, Macho agrees with it, Dre agrees with it, anybody else does, you need to live your life, but you need to make sure you are living it righteously and that you're going about things correctly and not trying to shove things down people's throat and making up fake narratives like nobody respects transgender, so we have to put them everywhere. Nobody respects women, so let's remove all the male figures and replace it with women that aren't like women. They're like men, so there's no role models for anybody. Like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing? Our society is fucked. There's nothing wrong with having Timothy Chalamet as your male lead in Dune, but it'd be nice to see somebody other than a Timothy Chalamet doing a male lead in a movie that's not trying to be kind of sissy or like just like lanky and not commanding. It's like, can we have some balance? We can accept that there's other types of people out there and give them movie roles, but why does every movie have to be that and about that and trying to remind us that there's people like this too? Well, are these people even coming to see the fucking movies and things? Because it doesn't look like it, because none of them are getting sequels and everybody stops talking about these things after they come out. It's always a huge big deal pushed in your face. Go see this movie. The controversy about here. Anybody who doesn't watch this is a bigot. Anybody who doesn't watch this one is a racist. It just doesn't sound good. It just doesn't sound entertaining. It has nothing to do with that. It doesn't look good. And you show us, like we were talking about earlier, 5 to 10 to 15, 30 minutes of whatever you're about to release. You have an episode releasing and you show us 15 minutes of it. Yeah, I don't want to see it. Now I'm a bigot. Fine, whatever. That word doesn't even mean anything anymore. We throw these words around so much that we're literally just losing everything. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's what the goal is to make America no longer have an identity, so that way it can just be easily taken over and changed to something else. Because
Swear to God, I swear to God, I could go with that. I could go with that idea so heavy. I believe in that. I think that's the thing.
it just makes no sense.
Strip us all of what we believe we are. Strip all ideas and just bring it down to either no identities, either one identity or no identity, so then they could just remold it and start from scratch. I see what you're saying. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nonsense. I want good entertainment. I don't really give a shit who wrote it and why they wrote it, as long as it's good and it's devoid of something we didn't talk about really, but all this demonic bullshit that's always in shit all the time, whether it's kid stuff, for whatever it is, there's always some type of evil or something you're supposed to be sympathetic to, and I ain't about that shit. I rebuke that. I rebuke you. I look forward to seeing Hollywood burn and become something new or some other thing come up, because it's all a bunch of fucking garbage. And frankly, there's a lot of good movies already. So if we lose new TV for a while, we'll be fine.
It's fucking basura.
Basura.
Yeah, we need some good actors to come up in this world too. We need some good actors to start being born, because I don't know. I feel like there's a couple good actors around there, but
there are some that exist, but there's not a whole lot. There's not people that have star power like that, and that's the problem. There's no stars anymore. Just people that they push to tell you they're a star because they're filling some sort of void, and then you see them act, and you're like, all right. I mean, there's nobody else, I guess. So. I mean, that's the only reason why Zendaya keeps getting cast, because it's not because she can act. It's just because she's a pretty face. She can't act. She plays the same person, and I wish she could act, because she's had some cool roles, but it's not entertaining. Just bad casting, bad writing, bad direction. It's all unfortunate, but like I said, we got huge libraries of good stuff to go back to for male and female roles before they destroy Doctor Who and other beloved franchises to put themselves in debt. Because honestly, I don't know what's going on. They're not making money no more, so hopefully
they really did destroy Doctor Who.
It was almost like it was personal. Oh man, fucking Doctor Who. I'm mad I even remembered that, because I'm just thinking about how badly they just destroyed that show. But whatever, it doesn't matter. We're gonna end the show at this point, because honestly, talking about that, I could probably keep it going for a little while, but we're not gonna do that. So thanks for tuning in this week, guys. Next week we should have Jay coming back, as long as he doesn't keep on being a Cape Crusader with a broken leg or whatever. He's a fucking
what to me, a Cape Crusader?
He's over here powerbombing people with one leg. He's crazy. So hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully we'll have Corey. I'm sure Miggs is probably waking up right now, trying to get the show. But hopefully we'll have the three of them with us next week. We'll be a full crew, and maybe have a topic. If not,
no, that topic was good, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I feel like there's definitely more that could be said there, especially if there's a little more focus to it, because it's a big topic overall, and it's hard not to get segued into a certain point, because they have a position,
because it's overshadowing a lot of things in our society, not only politics. Like, identity is everywhere. We'll bring it up again eventually.
Yeah, you know what? We could always come back to this when we have more people in here. You know, it's not like this topic is going away or it's going to change. It's going to persist.
We'll do like a quick summary next week if we have full house.
Yeah, it's got to evolve and it's got to continue, because it's something worth talking about. Because people deserve to have representation in things, but it shouldn't be at the cost of everything else that was there and in the stead of. We shouldn't be eschewing the past for what we believe to be the future, because we rely too much on certain things nowadays. And if the lights go off, so to speak, we're going to be fucked. Whereas if we still just all knew how to survive without lights, nobody would really be that afraid of somebody turning off the lights. But I'm going to turn off the lights for this week. You all join us next week. Thanks for coming to this show, BreakRoom Wildcard. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Talking Junk.